Hello and welcome back to this AWS course. We're currently in section 4, and in the last lesson we updated our API server to give it an HTTP endpoint where you could request a pre-signed URL to upload an image. So in this lesson we're actually going to test that functionality by calling the API server using curl from a terminal. If you'd like to follow along, just visit richardbraycourses.co.uk and you'll find that each section has its own repo. So just click on this repo link here and then you'll find there's a folder for each lesson. The last lesson was lesson 6, so just grab hold of this code in this folder and let's go to that code now. Okay, this is where we left things off in lesson 6. And as you can see, we deployed the new API server and it reported the URL, which is going to be quite useful since this is the address we want to talk to with curl. We also need to know the path, which if I just look in app.ts here, this is the actual path of the endpoint. So putting that together, we can get hold of the URL simply by typing curl and then minus capital X post to say what type of a request method we're using. And then we simply put in the endpoint address in quotes. So I'll copy this in first. And then I can add to that this photo's pre-signed URL here. And you can see it's returned a pre-signed URL. So if we now go back to browser and we go to S3, this is the API service, the photos bucket that was created by the stack. And if I refresh this, you'll see at the moment there is no file apparently here. However, let's go ahead and use this pre-signed URL. So I'm going to say curl -x put this time because I'm updating the file store. And the first parameter is the pre-signed URL. So I'll put that in here. Just copy that and paste it. And then I'll put a backslash just so we can continue on another line. And then I need to tell it the content type. So I'll put that in here. And again, I'll put a backslash after that. And then finally, I need to give it the file name that we're actually going to upload. So just place this here with the actual file. Now I've got a file in this folder called retro.jpg. So retro.jpg. And that's the complete command. So it's put and then the URL and then the content type and then the actual file name. So I'll hit that. And now if I return back to S3 and refresh, we'll see that the file is actually there. And if I select it and say open, we can see here's the image. And just for completeness, just to prove it, if I click on this retro.jpg here, indeed it is the same image. So that's how we can test with curl. Notice there were two commands. First of all, curl post, requesting the URL, and then curl put, using the URL. And in the next lesson, we'll go ahead and build out our React application to do just this.